almost was gonna.
What do you get when you put two Minnesotans and a guy from Wisconsin together? Twist. The Week in Sports Talk. Get ready for some sports chatter where there's sure to be laughing, arguing, and maybe even crying. Now, here are your hosts, Mike Reeves, Matt Benz, and Greg Green Bay Bauman.
Tune in. Tune in.
Almost Risen, episode 99.
Matt, are you comfortable?
Easter Eve.
Lounging.
He's always just laying. Greg.
I know.
You gotta just lay. Dude.
That's why
rest.
That's why he picked that spot.
I know that one of these weeks he's gonna just have like a sleeping bag and a pillow and like lean over to talk.
Been there, done that. Slept right on the streets, dude.
Me and Michael just be in the middle of some conversation and Matt will just pick his head up and be like, "What are you guys talking about?"
Yeah.
You guys
Oh, he's dialed in. We're dialed in. Episode 99. Two episodes left.
The great one. Wayne.
JJ Watt.
Erasmus James, Viking, Wisconsin Badger.
I picked a better Badger.
Well,
JJ Watt?
Watt wasn't a Viking, Greg. Skol.
They golfed in that pod with JJ, just so you know. Don't catch that.
Did they?
Yeah,
Matt's obsessed with this golf pod.
Speaking of sponsors.
Absolute Sports Cards in Savage. We are live. We are local.
Big Mike's upstairs.
We are on demand.
Hammering out the orders.
eBay is flying off the shelves.
I think he secretly just watches the show from upstairs.
Oh, it's his bread and butter.
Yeah. He loves it. He just calls Matty Breadman.
Yep, Breadman.
Doesn't call him Matt. Just, hey, Breadman. Breadman, hey.
I love it.
Yeah, speaking of Breadman, Matt, you got yourself a little bit of a cult following.
I do.
The people.
It's real.
Yeah.
The people's champ.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you. They've said bread never sleeps. They know about it. I don't even know who they are. They're just like, Breadman, you know?
Yeah.
I'm real, dude.
It's great.
You
got your little caricature.
Yeah.
I haven't released mine because it's got the new pod's name on my shirt.
Well, not only that, but
plus it was supposed to be, I gave it to Matt early and then he goes and fucking posts it.
So
it
all
was
I
supposed
know,
to be a social media post trifecta.
all I know is that when
He doesn't own the rights.
when I posted mine, everybody went, "Holy shit, Matt, that's wild. Holy, I had to do quadruple take. That's you."
Yeah. And
when you post you, it looks like fucking
gave me no credit.
Yeah.
Well, when you post you look like Luka Doncic with long hair.
Well, yours, if you zoom in, it's not you either.
I want to know why you should have the most identity on the web for AI to pull from.
Oh yeah.
Easily.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, you take selfies like
That's
a 16-year-old girl.
especially back in the day, man.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Look at this. I got a new hat.
Well, I'm sorry. I like what I look like.
Hey, it was great.
Jeez.
Do you?
Confidence.
Yeah. Hey.
That's a great movie, by the way.
Boo boo.
Confidence.
Never saw it.
You've never seen
Who's
Confidence?
Who's in it?
I don't know.
Well, then I probably.
Confidence.
It was so memorable. You can't tell me who was in it.
Because I can't.
Concussion?
I can't. No, Confidence.
Holy fuck.
You guys talk. I will.
Greggy, I was going to ask you, what's your top 5 condiments?
Condiments?
Yeah, because you're not really a big condiment guy.
No, but I like something with a kick. I mean, Secret Stadium sauce.
Yeah, it's nothing, Greggy.
No.
Edward Burns is
Edward Burns is.
Oh, okay.
Top 5 condiments. Mikey's a big condiment guy.
Yeah, so Secret Stadium sauce is the best one for me because I use it with so many different things. Oh, that's Head and Shoulders number 1.
Okay, you're going 1 to 5.
Speaking of, I'm going to cut Greg off, then he can get back to his list. What?
I told him
my life altered a little bit yesterday, Greg. We were talking about this. He brought this up, and I said, "Oh man, I need to call Greg. I need to get some more stadium sauce." And he goes,
"Just go on Amazon."
Just go on Amazon. I said, well, "What do you mean?" I thought Greg was
they aren't peddling
my hookup. I thought he was the only way I could get it. And he goes, "Oh no, Greg wants you to think that."
yeah.
Life altering news.
Like
Greg.
any drug dealer, he wants you to think.
I don't know if I'll ever be able to look at you the same.
The funny thing is, I've been buying Mike, Secret Stadium sauce since I met him.
Yeah.
And I've never. Well, I found out right away. So like when we were still in the sober house.
Yep, that was the first time I had it.
Yeah. I asked my mom to get me some. And I honestly thought she's going to go to the store, buy for me, package it, do the mom thing.
Yeah.
She went on creamcity.com, which is the Milwaukee website for stuff like that.
Yeah.
Ordered it and had it sent to me. And then she's like, you can do this yourself. So I've been doing that myself, just not telling Mike that that's how I get it.
I know it.
I thought he had a guy.
Yeah,
and all
you
this.
thought he
It
had to
was
go to a
just-
guy to put a label on it. Fucking,
Oh.
here you go. Yeah.
All right, number 4.
What's your 4? No, number 2. You went.
Oh,
the opposite
yeah.
way.
I just want to start
Oh.
off with the big dog.
That's fine.
So that's your 1.
That's my one.
Okay.
You know, anything else, and I'm not a Tabasco guy, but I would rather put like sriracha
Okay. 2.
is number 2.
Okay.
Now, condiments. Can I go?
Anything you would put on top of something.
Well, then anything nacho cheese.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's
what
condiment.
I
Yeah.
said
So
yesterday.
that
Yeah.
takes up
It
spots.
goes all 5 cheeses.
I thought that was going to be 1, 2, 3.
Well, I didn't-
and then
okay.
There's
Let me
5.
adjust it.
Yes.
So melted cheeses fill up spaces 1 through 5.
So
That's what I figured.
Well,
Yeah.
let's just put them in the same bracket. Nacho, queso.
Melted cheese.
That's 1.
Yeah. Okay. So that's
that's the one.
That's number 1. Number
Yeah.
2 is Secret Stadium sauce.
Number
3
3
sriracha.
sriracha.
3 sriracha.
You don't
see,
use much more than that.
no, because I really don't care for ranch dressing. I'll eat it, but I don't care for it. And I won't touch mayonnaise or Miracle Whip.
Yeah.
In fact, if someone's in the same room with me eating it, I'll probably leave the room.
Right.
Sour cream, I can't stand.
No. Mayo, you can't.
Miracle Whip, all that shit. No, I mean, I'm not really in anything other than that.
That's good.
Yeah.
Then I'll go next because Mikey, you're the last but not
Yep.
least.
I am the sauce guy.
At 5, I will do
Oh, he's going down.
relish. At 5, I like a relish.
That's
I like
not a condiment.
It is.
Yeah, it
It
is.
is. Yep.
Is
but it's
onion a
5.
condiment then? I mean, if you're going relish, I mean,
Well,
come
relish
on.
is a
These
paste.
These are
Relish
sauces.
is a
We're going
paste.
sauces.
I
Yeah.
know. I know. That's
All
the
right,
ones
all
I
right.
like.
This is your list.
At number 4, I'll throw in ranch dressing. I like a good ranch.
The goat is just getting
At number 3,
pummeled in this list.
I will put in Cholula. At number 2, mayo. And number 1, ketchup.
Wow, you are so Midwest.
Yep,
It's not
I
even
know.
funny.
I know. That's just it. That's how it-
ketchup, relish.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could get the exact same list off of somebody who's about 95
Yeah.
who needs to be told to go to the bathroom.
That's what I'm saying.
Here's
It's a hard one for you. You
here's
got
the
about
list, though.
100 different condiments.
Yeah,
in
no,
your
here
thing.
we go. So number 1,
Sriracha.
we're gonna go, Greg. Anybody who knows me knows
Yeah.
it's sriracha.
That's
Yep.
it.
I would literally just drink it.
Yeah, he puts it on
Love it.
cereal.
Love it. Number 1 is sriracha. Number 2 is ranch because it's a figure in
Yeah.
the pizza community.
Or chicken. Chicken
Or
tendies.
just yeah.
Chicken tendies.
Oh, you just need it.
baby.
There's some food that I simply will not
Pizza for sure too.
will
That's
not
me.
eat without ranch.
Yep.
So that has to, just because I might like some other flavors, a little bit more pizzazz
Yeah.
in my sauce. It's a
2,
ranch.
3.
3.
This is where it gets sloppy.
This is where
See?
it gets a little tough. I can't put, so I had this new sauce yesterday. Shout out Tucker's Tavern in Elysian. It's my father-in-law's restaurant.
Oh, so this is
the
this is
boom
the real
boom,
shit.
the boom boom
See?
sauce.
The boom boom is what you thought stadium sauce.
Boom boom. No,
See?
boom boom's a little orangier than red, but I got a steak wrap last night. for-
Oh, is
for
it more
dinner.
like an Asian type?
No, that's the yum yum.
Okay.
Yum
is the
yum's
boom
the,
boom.
the more the yellow. This is the boom boom. I'm not gonna put it in at 3. It's too new. It was great, but we're gonna shut it. Might make 5.
Okay.
I don't know if I got Tabasco's terrible, Greg, by the way. But
I know.
speaking of sauces that I can't eat something without that sauce. I can't have a Chipotle burrito without Chipotle Tabasco.
Okay.
That's key. Real dark.
All
I need
right.
to load that up.
That's 5, right?
That's 4.
Okay.
That's 4. Number 5. I'll go with the cheeses too, Greggy.
Okay.
Yeah, that's huge. You
Now,
got a
Gre-
pretzel burger with cheese on there.
Oh my dear
you
Lord.
dip the fries in it, but even a beer cheese soup is a great dipper for
I like
French
that.
fries.
Great. And now that you've heard them all, any honorable mentions?
Well, if you're gonna see the other thing that I like, the thing I like putting on pizza is slap your mama. But that's like that's a
Seasoning.
that's a seasoning.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
the
right.
stadium, his sauce is an honorable mention for sure. The ranch family also has a Cheez-It nacho cheese flavor.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. They have a garlic flavor. Phenomenal. Those are also big, fixtures in my pizza community.
Yeah,
if I get a medium pizza, half of the pizza goes for the sriracha and the nacho cheese. The other half goes for the sriracha and the garlic.
My honorable mention, it's slept on, honey mustard.
Oh yeah.
With some curly fries from Arby's.
Ooh,
or
Arby's sauce.
Woo,
Oh.
All right, that's good. We
Holy
did it.
hell.
Now I'm hungry. Now we're in the zone. That's good.
We're focused.
That's good. Greggy, what you got?
I was just thinking that, I would rather do a marinara.
Yeah.
Because we just had Arby's last night for dinner, and I opted for the mott sticks.
Oh,
Yeah,
over
that's
the
what-
curly fries.
Over the curly fries.
You never.
Everyone
you
else.
Taylor does.
Okay.
Taylor
No, here's
does.
Greggy, and I'm a little ashamed in you because
Well, I'm gonna tell you why.
your cholesterol level is high. So you know what you do
No, my
instead of
cholesterol level is normal.
opt out, you get both, Greg.
Well,
You
here's the
go
thing.
all in.
Did you?
Well, here's the thing. No, with an asterisk.
Okay.
See, I bought the food,
Yeah.
so I went to get it. It was for 4 of us.
So you took the revenant.
So I
You
knew
took
there would
the
be bag
seeds and
fries.
stems. You took the seeds and
I
stems.
knew there'd be bag fries.
Smart
Sure.
man.
Yeah.
Smart
So you
man.
got about 4 or 5 fries.
Yeah, I got fries, but I also knew if I wouldn't see. Here's the thing too: is when you go to the fast food place and you get food for 4 people, everyone as soon as you get home, you're the hero.
Yeah.
Everyone's running up to get their bag and stuff. But if I get something different than everyone else, no one's digging into my stash. No one's looking at my fries thinking they're their fries.
Smart man.
That's true.
Yeah.
When you're the provider of the bag,
Yeah.
you can even, as you're handing fries to the children, grab a little 4-banger,
Yeah.
right
There's
out
a-
of there, and they're
yeah,
like,
and then
"Hey!" And it's
in
like,
this-
"I made you get."
You know
In
what
the
this
same
remi-
regard that when I got home, they ordered root beer, lemonade, and Sprite. And Daddy comes home with a large mint chocolate chip shake.
Oh,
You know?
boy. Yeah. You know what this reminds
Banger.
me of? The keeper of the bag. So growing up, my buddy's older brother, he was the keeper of the bag, but this was marijuana.
Okay.
And since
real bag.
he would go get the bulk and he would break it all down and break apart these nuggets and he would take all the big stems. Okay. He was a nice guy. He'd take all the stems out and he'd put them in a big tall bottle of Grey Goose. All
Okay.
the stems. And what would happen, Greggy, is that alcohol would pull all the THC out of the stems and it'd turn that to vodka. And you would drink it and you'd get baked and drunk at the same time.
Did you guys see?
That's next level. Dude.
That's a fascinating idea. Did you guys
Yeah.
see that reel I sent you where they had the brat shots?
Yeah, I did. That's Wisconsin.
That's a Wisconsin thing. That's
Brat shot.
that looked like 7 different versions of disgusting.
What are you doing? $1 million deals?
No, I was sharing Twist, and Jet
that's
BB
nice.
was commenting he wanted to throw a spoonful of mayo at you, so he was.
Oh yeah.
Tell BB,
We got a live interactive show.
BB's listening, so I'll tell him right now. BB, there's a lot of things that I'm a good sport about, but if you put mayo within 10 feet of me and threaten to throw it at me, I will knock your ass
or
off.
anything that mayo's in.
Yeah,
Potato
oh,
salad.
You give me you come. Hey, Greg, I got you Jimmy John's number 10 Hunters Club, my favorite. You put
Extra
mayo.
mayo.
You put mayo on that. I will take that sub and I will shove it with a sundown shot.
Oh my god.
I do like mayo, but every time I eat it, it's like you just feel
Way down.
it's just so. But it's good.
So good. Dude.
But I'd rather put it on like inside like a bun where I can't see it rather than a fry, and your fry
Oh,
almost like
so-
breaks because it's so. Greg's getting
Oh.
sick even
I
just
am. I don't
describing
want
it.
to talk about
I know,
this.
Sorry.
it's all
Let's
right.
move on to something I feel more comfortable with.
What do you want to talk about?
I don't know. What,
So
Anything?
there's some in the news that happened recently.
Let's hear it.
We hit on this a little bit last episode. Same lane, different topic.
okay.
A couple of broads
Broads, females.
hopped into a penis-shaped rocket and went to space.
Space broads.
Space broads.
It's great.
Astronauts.
Right.
They did not go to
They
space.
went on a roller coaster.
They did not go to space.
It's a freestyle roller coaster.
So, yes,
Did they break the atmosphere, Greg?
no. And if you listen to Neil deGrasse Tyson, it's so funny because if you take a globe that you have in your grade school class,
Yeah.
the distance that the Earth is to the space station,
Yeah.
is 3.5 millimeters away from the Earth. If the Earth was a globe, the Moon is like 2 inches.
Yeah.
It's like that close.
Yeah.
They didn't even get the top of a pin
Right.
away.
Oh, so they just went up and down.
They're up in space for 11 minutes.
So they flew a plane.
No, they were on the trip.
Yeah,
for 11 minutes.
11 minutes, and most of that was
down.
descending in the with the whatchamajiggies, the parachute.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, okay, here's the thing: they spend $250,000 each to do this. God bless them. If that's something you want to do in your life, good for you.
Sure.
But you're not an astronaut. An astronaut has to be able to deal with situations when they're up there.
Yeah.
They sat there, they held on tight. They were no more astronauts than the dudes in the movie Armageddon.
Well, did you see the videos of them?
Yeah.
So Katy Perry says, this isn't about me. This is about us as space broads,
Yeah.
And then as she's up there, she's singing.
Yeah.
Like, all right, it's not about you. Like, what do you mean? And then she gets back down from her, joyride, and she kisses the ground right when she gets out. She like gets down on her hands and knees and kisses earth. And it's so good to be back. It's like, Rod, I think we lost the wrong people up there for 9 months at a time.
Did you see the video of when they got back?
So wasn't it doctored?
They opened the door from the inside.
Yeah.
And the lady came over there, and then they shut it. And then Bezos came over and
smashed the
clipped it open. You can't. It's pressurized. If you're going to space, you can't open a door from the inside.
Sure. It's great, man.
It's all fake.
But the thing is it's like, you know what? I'm not going to be the person who's critical of everything the left does and these freakazoids.
Sure.
If they want to do it, they want to spend their $250,000 to go up in space. God bless you.
Well, they're pissed. The left is pissed.
Why?
Because it costs them $1 million a minute to go on this fucking journey.
You know what?
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
So they can't even. There isn't. There's no partisan out of it. It's like you can't. You're fucked if you do, and you're fucked if you don't.
Yeah.
Just like transitioning in to the MS-13 gentleman.
Yeah. Okay.
The MS-13 gentleman that got shipped off because he was here illegally in our country, and then a district judge decided to take it upon themselves to try to say that that's unlawful, even though they have no jurisdiction to say that. And so this guy's all the way back in El Salvador. We shipped him out. So what does the left do this week, including our governor, Tim Walz, that they decide to make a trip to go to El Salvador to try to kidnap a citizen of the country that's not a citizen of here. Well, of course, right when they got there, the Donald Trump decided to go and have a press conference and read off this guy's resume.
Yeah.
That's over there.
Yeah.
He's not from Maryland. He's not a Maryland man. He, this, that, and the other. So it totally slapped all of them in the face while they're over there, choosing their side.
My thing about this is we're getting to a point, and I shouldn't say getting to, we've been at a point in this country where, and I know that jokes are made about it, that if Donald Trump endorsed breathing, Democrats would suffocate themselves. It's getting to the point where it's ridiculous and they're shooting themselves in the foot, because at the end of the day, there's a couple things that don't matter that they keep bringing up. Number one is, it doesn't matter if he has the gang tattoos and all this. The fact of the matter is he's not a citizen of the United States. And Donald Trump campaigned under the umbrella that if you're legally in this country, you're breaking the law.
Yeah.
So when Caroline Leavitt, the press secretary, and all these other people say they broke the law, they don't have to give any more further information.
Right.
Here's my problem with the left when it comes to this issue.
Yeah.
If you had a problem with this, why didn't you just tell these people, go through the process? It's, September, October, because if this guy gets elected, you're going to be out of here.
You're out.
So do what you need to do to be here legally. It's kind of like, this is why, to transition to the same type of topic.
Yeah.
It's why I don't understand, and nobody with common sense can convince me, why don't we have mandatory voter ID?
Sure.
You need to prove it's in the Constitution. Only U.S. citizens can vote in U.S. elections.
Yeah.
I don't go to my neighbor's house and tell them where they should go on vacation. I don't get a vote.
Yeah.
It's not my business. So my point is, if it's so hard for some people to get IDs. Sure. But you have? You have 3.5 fucking years before you need to vote in the
And I
next
don't-
presidential election.
And I don't
Plenty
think
of
it's-
time,
And
Greg.
I don't think it's hard for anyone to get
It's
an
not.
ID. It's not.
It's not.
It's an
If you-
old talking point that makes people look stupid.
Yeah, if you
And-
want to vote, you'll figure out a way to fucking vote.
Well, you have an
Right.
ID. You have an ID.
Yeah.
Period. You know, I got let out of prison, and the first thing that they do is make sure that you have an identification and a social security card when you get out.
Yeah.
Because you're going to need it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like there are programs to get you free help with identification. It's not a thing. It's an old talking point that they've tried to cake. And that's what you're seeing right now with the left is you're seeing them trying to get ahead of any kind of thing with this El Salvador thing. They didn't see it as an opportunity for success. They saw it as just anything that they can try to get ahead of and cling on to. And they clinged on to something that they didn't do the research on because there's nothing there right now.
And the thing is, too, is they're trying to use political rhetoric to defend their side. What do you hear all the time? He wasn't afforded due process. You know who's not afforded due process? Non-citizens.
Sure.
That's only applies to U.S. citizens.
And what their country wants to do with them when they come
Yeah.
back based on what their charges are, that's on them.
Yeah, you don't get, life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness if you're here illegally.
Yeah.
And I can tell you firsthand, you don't, because I saw ICE chasing after a Mexican.
Yeah, that's right. You
last
saw it.
Trump is, he wasn't playing around. I saw them chasing this guy down. I've never seen that guy, that Mexican, would have beat all three of us in the 40.
And the thing about it is this, and this is what I tell people, I have plenty of friends on the left, and this is what I tell them when they bring up talking points like, well, wouldn't you be afraid if, this, that, or the other? And there are situations I understand why people would be afraid. Sure. If you're doing everything the right way since you've been in this country and you've been here for years and you have a family, I understand, but they're not coming after you. Regardless of what the mainstream media is telling you, they're going after the criminals. They're going after the infections. If you're not associating yourself with those areas and those people, they're not coming and kicking your door in. I'm telling you that right now.
There's not even conversations
Like-
you can have with friends on the left. If you have friends on the left, you leave them in the left. You don't even discuss.
See, I do though.
I don't, because there's no middle. We've talked about this on the show.
There is though.
Yeah,
there is.
So-
There's plenty of people on the left that agree with certain things on the right, just like I agree with certain things on the left. That doesn't make me a liberal. It just makes me a hybrid in that sense. I'm still a right-wing person. I still vote Republican.
There's not many hybrids out there, Maddie.
No,
There
is. There's more people that
Maybe
will-
in Lonsdale.
There's more
not in
people-
America.
There's more people out there that will have a constructive conversation if they understand that you're not the enemy.
right.
And that's how I can, just like Greggy with his brother.
Yeah, my brother and I had an hour-and-a-half conversation talking about everything, and we came to a lot of common ground
Of
on things,
course.
to the point where my daughter, who listened to the whole conversation because she was in the car,
Yeah.
said you and your brother should go on national TV
Yeah.
and show people that two people of different sides can have
Of
opposing views.
course.
The point is that we came to understandings. Like I said to him certain things like you should always demand voter ID.
Sure.
And my other one is if you want to eliminate all the fraudulent spending
Sure.
and all this corruption,
Yeah.
don't allow riders and bills anymore,
Sure.
because that's how you get it. For those of you who don't know, you have a bill. You say, I'm representing this bill. I'm the author of this bill.
Right.
You're a member of Congress, and you say, I want to get $500 million
Sure.
for new roads.
Yep.
And you know that you need a certain percentage of people to vote for it, and you're taking a straw poll of everyone in Congress, and you're maybe you're 1 or 2 votes short.
Yep.
You got to go to the other side.
Yep.
And they say, well, I'll vote for your bill, but what are you going to do for me?
Right.
And then all of a sudden it's like, well, I'll give you $5 million to for a transgender opera in Ethiopia.
Sure.
All right, done. That's how corruption starts.
Well, that's why, because when they see these spending bills and all that, you're getting a giant paperweight of thousands of sheet of paper that no one's going to read.
Yeah.
And that's what they've always said. And that's how they can say, well, we'll just sit here and read through it all, to filibuster and stuff like that. It's just red tape. And that's why you're right. It should be here, this move. No, yay, nay, on to the next.
if your bill can't stand on its own merit, it shouldn't be allowed to even take a vote in Congress.
Yeah,
100%.
it's interesting.
Yeah.
You know who's in the news? Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah, the wrong one.
The wrong one.
Not the
Man.
basketball player.
No.
It's very
It's crazy what they decide to make national and publicize.
Well, this is what I'm talking about by grabbing onto whatever you can
Yep.
before you do enough research about it.
100%. You know, the family, that's
So allegations are that
they're not allegations. Carmelo Anthony
no, I'm talking
admitted to the police after.
the allegation of him saying why he did it.
Yes, but
That allegation is stating that he was being bullied.
yes.
Okay?
Poor
He
guy.
was being bullied, and now he has been pedestalized as a hero for his family and has made over $500,000 on his GoFundMe, renting a new huge home for his whole family. His mom and family decided to do a press conference this week
Yeah,
where
Thursday
the
night.
father of the boy who was murdered showed up, and they villainized the father and forced him to leave because he was not doing anything, just harassing by just being in the presence of this person.
Yep.
You know, it's very interesting. And the comparison of this all goes, unfortunately, to Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yeah.
Which, you know, Kyle was never lowered. His bail was never lowered to get out. You know, they did things in order to keep him in custody. You know,
That was such Kyle Rittenhouse. We have that post that compared the two, correct?
Yep.
The circumstances of the two are uncomparable.
yeah,
They are.
The biggest
They're
thing,
uncomparable.
yeah, the biggest thing that you can do is just say, you know, if this was flipped, and unfortunately, you don't want it to come down to race, but if it was flipped, cities would be burning right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rightfully so. A
if a
kid
white
got
guy-
stabbed multiple times to death.
Cities would not be burning.
Yeah, because
People get stabbed every single
a
No,
day.
if a white boy stabbed
a black
a black kid
Yeah.
and killed him,
Happens every
and
day.
he got,
no, it doesn't.
no, it doesn't.
The cities, I agree with Matt. Cities
do you
would be
mean?
burning if it was a white kid, and there
What
would be
white
no
kid is
defense
running up
for it.
and stabbing
because-
some black kid?
because the
People die
difference-
every day.
The difference is
Whites, blacks, Asians. It doesn't matter.
Well,
the-
it does in comparison to what we're saying.
If they blow it up, it does.
A white kid got stabbed to death, and a black kid got his bail reduced. He's out, and he's
I
he's
understand. It's
Rich. He's
ridiculous.
rich. If that would have been flipped, that would have been another
Well, yeah,
George Floyd. It would have
BLM
been a
would
number
be on it,
BLM
yes.
thing.
yeah, because the comparison of the flip is Kyle Rittenhouse because he killed two minorities.
Sex offenders. Yeah.
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 Well, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that's tough too, because then again, you get, just like I just said, you know, where it's like now you feel an allegiance to stand up for a guy who, you know, it's not what you want to do.
Yeah, they were, for people who don't know the story, they were at a track meet.
Leave race out of it. A kid killed another kid, and
At a track meet, he had a
murdered
knife
him.
in his bag.
yeah, and now the
he didn't
kids-
stab him in the leg.
No,
He stabbed him in the heart.
While he was like with his team, the guy
Yeah.
went
Yeah.
over.
At a track meet.
yeah, and he for his first defense was self-defense.
and now he's
But here's how
free.
you self-defend yourself: don't walk over to the guy.
With a knife.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's interesting.
It's pretty cut and dry. And I think I hope we've seen with the justice that it doesn't always prevail. But I hope that, you know.
yeah, it all depends.
but see,
But he can't get life because he was 17.
I don't know.
well, you can try him as an adult,
Sure,
which
they won't.
yeah,
you know, and that's just the thing about it.
yeah.
You know,
And see, it's
I read an article because it was 17 in that state.
Oh,
Cali,
oh.
yeah.
He can't get life or he can't get the death penalty
It's
because he was underage.
I just to your point, Matt, what you're talking about, like just not finding things. The problem with everything is people believe too much of what they're told, and all they want to do is they want to find someone that they want to align with that's likable, which is why Trump doesn't have a 100% approval rating, because people don't like his personality.
Yeah.
And the problem with it is we use arbitrary terms to, gravitate to
Of
and to
course.
lock to. I mean, it's like with the transgender movement, it's like throughout my entire life, it's okay to be a feminine male,
Sure.
a male who has traditional feminine qualities, someone
Sure.
who's more empathetic, someone who's more nurturing, someone, it's also just as okay to be a female who has masculine qualities. Tomboy.
Yep.
And those things were the problem with it is you cannot take subjective terms and turn them into objective arguments. You can't say, if you say, I feel masculine, you can be any gender and think that. That's
Sure.
perfectly fine.
Of course.
But you can't be a female and say, I am a male. That's objective.
Sure.
That is a black and white term.
Yep.
And that's where the problem lies. The left wants you to believe that objective terms are subjective. When they keep saying things like, well, there's a scale and it's on the pendulum and it's on. No, it's not.
Yeah.
There are certain things in this world that are black and white.
Yeah.
If you were, I learned this when I was a little kid. It's in a very popular movie called Kindergarten Cop.
Yeah.
Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina. It's that fucking simple.
Is that Arnold?
And if you don't
No, it was a
believe
kid.
that,
Yeah, but who's in
Yeah,
that? Who's
Arnold.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it was. It's like if you don't I'm not saying if you don't believe it. If you don't understand that that's an objective phrase,
Sure.
and there's no wiggle room, there's no gray area.
Yeah.
If you don't understand that, there's something mentally wrong with you.
Yeah.
Because it's okay to be feminine. It's okay to paint your nails if you're a guy because you want to show your femininity.
Caleb Williams, dude. Yeah.
That's fine. I don't
Yeah.
give a shit.
Yeah.
But don't tell me that you're a man if you have a vagina. You cannot compete in women's sports if you have a fucking penis.
Yeah.
Well, you can in Minnesota, and that's the trouble with this state. Living in a far left state is, thank God my kids will be in 4th grade next year, because as of 2025, start of the school year, all 3rd grade schools in the state of Minnesota will have to learn how to implement pronouns
Yeah.
in 2 sentences.
Sure.
It's a mandate in the state.
If I'd have a vasectomy before, I'd get one
That's
right
just that's just the thing that you gotta, people have to vote. And that's why I always say, you also
nothing will ever change in this
now.
state.
But the thing
well,
is,
it is. If you get
It's
photo
dominated.
ID.
It's
If you have
dominated
to
by
bring up-
Minneapolis, St. Paul,
Doesn't matter.
and Duluth.
if you have to bring an ID to vote,
It does matter.
you're gonna cut out a bunch of fraud. It's all fraud.
oh, absolutely, I agree with Matt on that. But by
It's
the way,
completely
I've been living in Minnesota for 22 years, and Tim Walz is the reason why I tell people I'm from Wisconsin.
Sure. Yeah, it's easy to do. It's
Tampon
unfortunate.
Timmy.
Oh,
Yeah, he's the worst of them.
yeah. It's interesting. It always comes back to it's a very interesting time.
So, did you know that you could still be killed by a firing squad?
Oh, yeah. Wasn't that? I saw that.
So South Carolina, not just once, 2 times in the past month, killed convict by firing squad.
Sure.
Convicted, killed by firing squad. And the interesting part of it, even outside of the fact that they will shoot you to death in the United States of America in 2025,
Yeah.
was that the people doing the shooting were volunteers.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
So back in the day when they did a firing squad, they would give one person bullets
Yep.
and the other people blanks.
Yep.
Because that way you didn't know who killed them.
Yeah.
I don't know if that still holds up, but the fact that, let's say it doesn't, and it didn't sound from the article that that's how they did it, but let's say they all had bullets.
I would hope so. If I'm getting shot to death, I would hope everybody has.
He lived for 45 seconds after.
But to volunteer
What was the charge?
to do that, he
Rape?
killed an off-duty police officer. This was the second time, the second offense of the 2 times that this was used.
Damn.
So I don't know the context of how it happened.
That's heavy.
I just know he killed an off-duty, and they killed him by firing squad.
Well, and the thing about this is, of course, the left comes in and says, this is inhumane. This is a horrible way to kill someone. He was given a choice. He was given 3 options: firing squad, lethal injection, electric chair. He was told that number 1 is you don't want to do lethal injection because it's really painful. Plus it's expensive. They don't like to do it.
Yeah.
And
But they
electric
gave the
chair,
option.
an electric chair is extremely painful from what they say.
Sure.
I don't know if anyone's ever gone through it and said, yeah, it really does suck. But they said that the most humane way to do it is by firing squad
That's
because
fucking
you have trained people who are volunteering for this who have good aim.
Oh, that's so wild.
If you're going to why do a firing squad? Why not just go gang style right to the back of his head, right in the brain?
Well, that's just it. If I'm
And how is a lethal injection painful?
Because it don't kill you right away.
It
The thing
doesn't-
is, you should
shuts
put me to
shuts off
sleep.
your systems one by one.
But haven't you been
sedative.
haven't you put down an animal?
Yeah.
It's very quick.
Yeah.
They go very quickly.
I'm sure that
Why can't they make a humanized
go
version
over to
of
Lake
that?
Street, go up to some dude on the corner, say, "Hey, let me catch a bag real quick." Hit him with a little bit of that. Put him right out. Done. I'm talking about $20 a shot.
And that's talking about
$20 a
make you
shot.
holla.
They got fentanyl coming overseas, baby. Come on now. Jeez Louise. Let's talk a little sports.
I just got a message. Our boy Danny Lennon.
Oh, hey.
The kindergarten cop bit was money.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Money,
it's been
baby.
heavy, man. It's been a heavy app.
That's
Sports is on the horizon.
Yeah, speaking of sports too, real quick. I did get the kids. We got first of the 3 movies done of the Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, as you should. Second one's the best.
Second one is the best. I'm glad you said that.
D3 is good too. I
well,
think that's the second best.
The whole reason the Mighty Ducks franchise got brought up is because of D3 being filmed at Shattuck, where I'm getting married.
Sure.
And so I brought that up to the kids and I explained the movie.
Yeah.
And they were all in on wanting to see it.
Yeah.
And so last weekend, brought them down Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
Fired up Mighty Ducks 1, quack, 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 Mr. Ducksworth.
Yep.
And they were all in. So
I think
next weekend will be D2.
The second one, I'm pretty sure, was played in New Hope Arena, and I played in that same crease as Goldberg.
Well, briefly, because they were USA. Weren't they in Cali?
It might have been one then. I don't know. I just know that they had.
It was probably one, because one was all based in Minnesota.
It was big.
And then 3, they're Team USA, so they travel out. Or 2, excuse me. And then 3, they're back and they play at Shattuck.
Emilio Sheen, dude. Emilio Sheen, dude.
Emilio Sheen.
God.
What is their last name really Estevez?
No, Sheen.
So
I'm pretty sure Emilio changed his name.
I'm looking it up.
I'm pretty sure, because I don't think he chose the Estevez.
I know.
I'm
Look
pretty
it
sure.
up, Greggy. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's forgiven.
So we got Timberwolves playoff basketball
Game
tonight
one.
against
LeBron and Luka.
Against my LeBron.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a tough series.
Speaking of LeBron, I didn't watch the clip.
Charlie Sheen's real name is Carlos Irwin Estevez.
Wow.
They Americanized them, which makes more sense.
Good for
You
Charlie,
Americanize
dude.
yourself.
Yep.
Welcome.
So Charlie's a Carlos. Love it.
What the hell? Oh, did you see the Skip Bayless versus the LeBron superfans?
No.
Where they sit at a table like almost like Shapiro or some of those guys, and they go at why they say why LeBron's the GOAT, and he says why Jordan is. You got to check it, because all I saw is the one
So
clip.
Skip Bayless fans or Skip Bayless?
Michael Jordan fans,
Versus
super
LeBron
fans
fans.
versus Skip Bayless, head to head, facing each other at a table. They walk up and they debate on why LeBron's the best, and he tells them why Jordan is.
Okay.
Well, anyways, one of the kids smoked him and brought up only like stats, like cold hard facts, and it was good. So check that out. But
Smoked him on LeBron.
yeah, why LeBron would be.
Yeah, and there's
There's no way. I mean,
you can't compare different decades.
No, that's just it.
It's
eras.
it's a
eras.
torch.
It's eras.
It's a torch.
Yeah, it's eras.
Jordan.
So, but anyways, Ant can be the man to end LeBron.
Yeah.
Even if LeBron continues to play, if he
the thing
bounces in the first round,
it's not about Ant or LeBron.
it's about Luka.
It's about the Timberwolf killer Luka.
And if he could play defense.
He doesn't need to play.
Well, somebody's got to, because somebody's got to guard Anthony Edwards, and they don't got a guy. They're talking about bringing Bronny to guard Anthony Edwards. Come on now, Greggy.
Good luck.
What's that? You?
My vibrator.
Okay.
Somebody's phone's ringing, but that's all right.
That's
all right.
Mikey.
No,
Greggy, how are
hey,
you
at least
feeling?
the volume is off.
What's that?
NBA hoops. Playoffs, game 1.
Are
the Bucks in?
Oh yeah, once
Who
again.
do they play?
Once again, they're playing the Pacers. It's like every year they play the Pacers.
Same shit.
But the only problem with the Bucks right now is they got to get past the Pacers before they get Dame back. Dame's got that blood clot, and they're saying that he's coming back, but it might be only for like until after like the third game. Third game.
Sure.
So they just need Giannis to go off.
He was out game 1, I thought.
I heard game 1 and 2, maybe game 3.
Oh,
depending
that's
on
not
whether,
what I read.
Depending on whether they're in the series.
Sure.
Okay.
You know, so if they're up 2-0, they'll probably sit them.
That
I
makes
like it.
sense. But I thought I read game 1 and then back for the rest. But if they don't need him, take time to rest.
But I think that with the Timberwolves,
Yep.
I think that the thing is, you know, this is Ant's opportunity.
Well, sure.
that he had it last year. They kind of shit the bed a little bit against Dallas.
Luka daggered us.
Yeah, and now you got your
They
chance.
daggered us.
That
It
was
a
the
game-
best. That was the best ride I've ever been on a Timberwolves.
Yeah.
That was so fun last year. So I don't think this is his only opportunity.
No, but it's
last year he carried us,
He wants to beat
and you
LeBron.
ran into Luka.
He wants to beat the team that everybody says is going to
Ooh.
beat us.
Yeah.
And that's what they asked him. They said, what do you think about, the media basically saying that, the Lakers list, Lakers that? He's like, I love it.
Yeah.
He's like, keep it coming.
Well, and that's the best thing about Ant, and that's why he doesn't want to be the face of the NBA, is because he's not a puppet. He wants to say exactly what's on his mind and talk shit and come at you. And it's like, his game can back it up to be the face, but he doesn't want all that. He's got too much baby mama drama
Oh, my land.
as it is. So who you got in the series, though? You got the Lakers? Betting man, I would take the Lakers. It's tough. I don't think we have.
I wouldn't bet until after the first two in LA. And if we can win one in LA, I say that the Wolves can win.
Yeah, I think we will
You
take.
gotta win one in LA. Unfortunately, you don't have to, but I'm saying like you have to.
I think we win tonight.
We'll see. You got to steal one in LA. That place is gonna be popping. Staples is gonna be popping. Yep.
We'll see.
Interesting.
We're a week away from the.
Look at that hair.
God, Shaggy do.
Yep.
You're getting there, kid. You'll have dreads before you know it.
Patience. No, not dreads.
Yeah,
Damn.
you will.
No,
You're
I got
an island boy.
I got a wedding. I can't be.
I keep forgetting you're getting married right
Yeah,
around the bend.
We're
dude.
getting married. Well,
I've been working on my dialogue for months now.
so I got a message from the best man yesterday saying he woke up in the middle of a sleep or couldn't sleep because he was thinking about
his speech.
which I did for both of you and his.
Yeah.
That's when I got
he's
my.
not a big public speaker though.
No, and that's when I got my best thoughts. To be honest, was I used to get up in the middle of the night and jot notes because the silence of the night lets your brain rest and really think about stuff. And so I came up with all the hot takes.
You hear this fucking kid, man? Jeez, Greggy.
What?
Greggy's over there downstairs. He's got better cameras than we got here. He's got all the state-of-the-art audio. He does the walk up. He's got the arch.
I got green screens.
Yeah.
Just figuring
He's hoping this will really catapult him into a side company.
Greg will knock it out of the park. The thing I learned after I've done 2 weddings.
Yep.
I did Greggy's, I did my barber's.
Yep.
And the thing I've learned from that after, because it's like when you buy a red car, you see more red cars.
Yep.
Right. So once you become a man of the cloth.
Yep.
I don't think you are quite yet, though.
Not yet. Not there yet.
So he's
in training.
But once you become a man of the cloth and you do a couple weddings, when you go to weddings, you really take in what they're doing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I realize, which Greggy again will hit home, that it's not. I was so by the book because I'd never done it before, but really it's more personal.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. You're gonna be doing crowd work.
I want to do another one because that would be my best.
Yeah. Hey, Mama Reeves, how's it going? Shout out.
See, it ain't. But see, there's a fine line though.
There is a really fine line
because it's not
a best man speech,
and it's not about me, but it's my job to be. My job is figuratively to be the light guy, to make sure that light, that spotlight, is on the two of them at all times.
Yeah.
That's my job. So I have to do and say things to draw attention to them.
Yeah.
Not to me, not to the wedding party, but there's little things that I'm going to have to put in.
Oh yeah.
References to the kids, little things like that.
Pizzazz,
But all in all, it's all about their marriage.
Yeah.
So that's where it becomes difficult. And I know what Mike's saying because it was very easy when I was just I was in my car driving from the middle of nowhere to the middle of nowhere about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking what would I say right now? Gun to my head. I got to give it. And everything sounded like the 15,000 other weddings I've been to.
Of course,
I'm like, this is why you have to think this stuff out because it's very easy to get on that train and you're going down the tracks and before you know it, your 2 minutes are up.
Yeah.
And you've just scripted the exact same thing you've heard 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Well, you don't need 2 minutes. You got about 5, I would say.
Yeah, I'm talking
you know, I've been to ones where they
Are you wearing a robe?
I'm not wearing a robe.
I'm not wearing a collar.
I think you should robe.
Here's what I think I'm going to do. I'm going like a royal blue shirt with the collar and sport coat.
Gold bracelet, gold necklace, gold.
I do not wear jewelry.
The real fathers do, dude.
So you're going blazer.
Dude. They show the tithe.
With the hint of the collar.
Yeah.
Are you going scarf?
No.
The cloth.
No, I'm not. I was thinking about that.
You were going to come out like a friar.
I was thinking about doing like the sash and all that. But here's the thing. I'm also later on that evening.
You're the MC later on,
introducing the wedding party.
Yeah. DJ GVG, dude.
Yeah.
So what are you more excited for?
The DJ. I already know it, dude.
There is a lot more lenience that you guys are going to have from me on that part.
Yeah.
That one is going to be off the rail.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking nicknames you guys have never heard of before.
Yeah.
You know.
Great.
Yeah.
By the time that starts,
they're going to be like, the people at the wedding are going to be like, is that the same? Is that the priest?
Chantel will see me. She'll see me walking around with garbage bags at like, after we eat dinner, she'll see me. What's he doing? Oh, he's cleaning up. He's probably about to hit the back door. He's cleaning up before he leaves.
That was the funniest thing about Matt's wedding is me, Mike, Rebecca, Jake, and Jesse. We all wanted to leave, including you. We left with you.
Oh yeah, I was.
Well, we wanted to go, but then it's like, we'll wait. But as soon as
and then at the end, me and Mike had to walk up to Taylor's mom and be like, is there anything else you need us to do? And then they turned around and saw everything we had done.
Of course.
And they're like, oh my God, you didn't have to do all of it's like, that's all we needed to hear.
Yeah.
We're out.
Yeah, they're out.
I was tired from the night before in the social distance lap dance. So
Lord have mercy. Dude.
I was tired.
The northern.
The
northern.
northern.
Not Tootsies, but it's the northern.
No, nothing is
north of northern.
Nothing is Tootsies.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah,
NFL drafts are coming up.
Yeah.
Thursday night, I'll be asleep. Vikings have the
24th pick.
Probably won't pick in the first round.
We will. I'm saying it, and I've said it before, and I will say it again.
We're drafting.
We are not in the first round.
Okay, that's what
there's no way if you're in the front office of the Minnesota Vikings and you're walking in with the 24th pick, you have a compensatory third round pick, which technically is the very next pick after the first round. So it's the 4-1.
Yeah.
You have a fifth and a sixth. You have 4 picks. If you're in the front office, you have to have a number that we're walking after this draft 7. 8, 5, whatever that number is. And I would say it's probably, we want to draft 7 guys.
Sure.
So you're moving out of 1 to probably get 3 picks.
Love it.
You're probably moving out of that third 401 to gain 2 picks.
Yeah.
You're going to move back a few, and that's how you're going to get your capital.
Your fillers.
You know,
Fill the spots.
You need, and it every draft depends on the runs. Yeah. So it's, Greggy and I talked about this the other day. The media does a great job of highlighting the main focal points, right? The quarterbacks, the receivers, the running backs.
Yep.
And they do that every year, regardless of the talent. Malik Willis, leading up to the draft, I don't think there was a single person out there that truly felt, because of the media, that he wasn't going to be a first-round pick.
Zach Wilson.
But the thing about Zach Wilson is it was a consensus.
I know, but
that he was
that.
But it was a consensus.
I know.
So it wasn't just you put a player in a shitty spot.
Yeah.
The Jets, the Bears.
Oh, I say it all the time.
It's a career-ending spot. Is Pat Mahomes
Sammy
if he doesn't
Darnold.
go to Kansas City? Sam Darnold to the Jets. So I don't necessarily think it's the player. It's the system.
Yeah. I get that.
So it's going to be fun to see how the narrative plays out in the draft, and what the Vikings need is for these quarterback needy teams that want to hop back into the first round to grab a guy. So if you got your Shadur and you got your Cam,
don't forget about it. I want to talk about that. Keep going.
But then you need somebody who, potentially your Browns, your Giants that have a very early second round pick that are willing to swap that and throw on a pick or 2.
Green Bay.
I right now I'm very, very sure we're going to go cornerback.
Yeah.
We have the
That's what it
23rd
seems
pick,
to
so we have one pick before you guys.
Yep.
And I think that we're going to go cornerback
Coach.
just because. And I think that they've been trying to trade. I think they've been trying to get rid of Jair Alexander,
Sure.
but they're not getting for him what they want. So I think it's one of those things where they're going to draft a cornerback and then have him fight it out, and then release him if they can. Get rid of him, or maybe someone will need something. I don't think this is going to be a very flashy draft for the Packers.
Never really is.
No, they're not going to do a trade up to get some high flyer.
Yeah.
The problem with this draft is once you take out 4 players, Ashton Genty, and the 2 Colorado guys, and Cam Ward, who's going to be the number 1 pick, there's not a lot of flash.
Yeah.
There's quarterbacks. There's
to the casual. Yes.
Yeah, to the casual.
Yes.
So this isn't going to be. So everyone's talking right.
Oh fuck! There he goes. Get it out. Everyone's talking right now about the flash and the glamour, but when it gets out of the first fucking 15 picks, people are going to be staring at.
What people are going to see different to last year is the Vikings traded up last year to get Dallas Turner.
Yep.
Because it was all offense.
Yep.
This year's draft is the talent is edge rushers, defensive tackles.
Yeah.
That's going to be, aside from.
So you push a lot of those flash and glamour back.
Yeah. And the receiving group's nowhere near what it was last year.
Right.
Are there some key guys?
Yes.
100.
But it is where you splash.
100%.
Where do you go? Otherwise, you're dead.
And Greg and I, Travis Hunter's the talk of the draft.
Yeah.
And he should be.
Yeah.
He's a unicorn. And we talked about it the other day. And I heard a pod after we talked that made a great point.
Let's hear it.
So he's a 1B at both.
Mm-hmm.
He's not. You don't draft a 1B, so a Devontae Smith would be a 1B, right?
Yep.
A Jordan Addison would be a 1B.
Yep.
A T. Higgins,
a
1B. A 1B isn't worthy of a top 3 pick.
Yep.
Is he a first round pick? Yes.
Yeah.
What makes him worthy of a top 3 pick is if you use him, why he is a unicorn.
Yeah.
At both positions and not at 100%, like we talked.
Yeah.
But you can't just say, hey, Travis Hunter, 1B wide receiver. I'm the Cleveland Browns. We're drafting you as a wide receiver. Is he going to be a good wide receiver? Yes, I truly believe so.
You're saying you got to get like 175 snaps a game.
You draft him because he's a unicorn.
Yeah.
You draft him.
I mean?
Yeah.
175 snaps
You're playing both sides of the
game.
You're playing both sides every game. Yep.
Shohei.
And that's what makes him worthy of the unicorn status and a top 3 pick. Otherwise, you're not drafting for value. You're wasting a pick on a receiver he's not Malik Neighbors.
Right.
And that's what Mike and I were talking about is all of the hype around him. Is he a B wide receiver, a B cornerback, but the fact that he can do both, that makes him an A+. Because that doesn't move, and I'll just say it doesn't move the needle for fantasy.
No, but I don't, and like I said, I don't believe he is a B at either.
Yeah, you said that. Yeah,
and I don't think he proved that in college. I mean, Matt was pissed when he won the best wide receiver award because, and I agree, he probably wasn't deserving of it. But he was a stud at both, and I
get that he's a freak athlete, but that worries me. But that's okay. Yeah, that should worry anybody.
And I told Greg, I said as far as dynasty.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't. I'm not.
Well, no, I think I absolutely would.
I know you would.
Because at the end of the day, we're throwing some cheddar at it, right?
Yeah.
But it's fun.
Oh,
owning Justin Jefferson and my dynasty is one of the
highlights of your life.
Oh, yeah. God. I mean, this isn't just some yearly fantasy football team. This is my every year team.
Yeah.
I get them every year.
Yeah.
I will tell you this, that he deserves to have his jersey retired. On the flip side of that coin, you're also getting Shadur Sanders' jersey retired.
Blasphemous.
11-10 at Colorado.
13-12.
13-12. Okay.
Yep, of course.
I think he only had 2 wins in the Pac-12. Never won a game that mattered. And so his dad comes in front of the podium 2 days ago and tells all the media that he doesn't understand why this is being blown up right now. If his last name wasn't Sanders, we wouldn't be having this talk.
Right.
And everybody goes, exactly, buddy.
Yeah.
Like,
if his name wasn't Sanders, he wouldn't.
How about you don't be a coward and you also retire Shiloh?
If Cordell Stewart doesn't have his jersey retired as a Colorado Buffalo,
2 bowl wins
and
relevancy as a program.
It took him 3 years to retire Rashad Salam's jersey, and he won the fucking Heisman.
I would even retire Philip Lindsay before Shedeur.
Yeah, Philip Lindsay was a great Buffalo.
See, now here's the thing, though.
With a shitty team.
Once again, to bring this conversation full circle back to the media, the first thing that you hear when you start talking about that isn't other Colorado Buffaloes. First one you hear is Tim Tebow never had his jersey retired.
Sure.
Florida doesn't retire jerseys.
Sure.
This has to be an individual argument to every team.
Sure.
There are plenty of schools that say we have a ring of honor.
Yeah.
But we don't retire jerseys.
It's wild.
And now here's what the smart argument is. If you're a school that wants to have a rich sport tradition in a certain sport, basketball, football, volleyball, whatever, you don't retire a jersey to never wear it again.
Right.
You honor a number.
Yep.
And then now here's the thing is, if they wanted to really highlight the Shedeur Sanders era of 2 years at Colorado, what you do is you let Shedeur give that number 2 jersey to the next guy that he feels that would carry on that legacy.
Of course.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
But I just hate it when people, this guy is he didn't go to the same school.
Yeah.
It's a totally different rule. I mean, there's only so many players from Wisconsin that had their jersey retired, and there's a million of them that went D1.
Yeah.
That went into the NFL draft and became Hall of Famers.
It would worry me being a commit or being currently on the Colorado roster and feeling like next year you're going to be thrown under the bus by your coach because you don't have his son. And I feel like that's kind of the bridge that's being set up right now, is that not only does he lose his son, but also Hunter. So it's like, yes, you're losing 2 highly skilled people. However, that's why you're seeing already guys hit the portal now after they made these announcements, because it's always, they're sick of it. Yeah. They're sick of the circus.
Do you think Deion's a good coach?
I think he's a great recruiter. I don't think he's a head coach.
Well, the thing about him that makes him good,
he's a motivator.
He puts the right people around.
He surrounds himself with all the right people. So it's not just the X's and O's. It's a program. It's about creating a program.
Yeah.
So the best thing for Deion, the best thing for Shedeur, nobody gives a fuck about Shiloh.
Yeah.
Is that they are moving apart.
Sure.
Because now we get to see the separator.
Yeah.
We get to see what he can do.
And it's a win. It's a win-win
for both of them.
Yeah. Well, Shedeur, if he falls on his face, everybody's gonna say you don't have your dad.
And you and I are on. We've talked about it on the show. We're on complete opposite sides of Shedeur. It is good because I'm
wrong a lot.
I absolutely love him, and I love it even. I love it even more that they keep kind of pushing him back.
Yeah, he'll get a better team, and
he'll get a better team. He'll have a chip on his shoulder because the people that I respect the most in the media that cover football, love him.
Good.
He's all about football.
He has intangibles for football.
Yes.
What worries me is just the extra.
Yeah, but and Greggy and I talked about this too. He is extra because why? Because he's Deion Sanders' kid.
Yeah, I get it.
But he's also Deion Sanders' kid, and Deion's all about it. You don't think he raised those kids
I get it? Sure.
to be all about it? That dude played 2 professional sports. He's got no time for bullshit. He tried to train Shiloh at the cornerback position, which he played, and Shiloh said, "No, I got this," and he never brought it up again.
Yeah.
He said, "You got it. You got it.
Good luck.
Good luck."
Yeah.
Good luck.
That's
so
what happens.
I'm excited. I like Shedeur. Oh, I like him number 1 quarterback. I do.
That's great.
I think Cam Ward, as I sat in this chair a year ago when we talked about this, and he before he didn't declare, I brought up Cam Ward as a sleeper 2nd-round pick for the Minnesota Vikings because I loved him. he also makes me very nervous.
Sure. It's like an A-Rich for
You
me.
know.
You know,
Well, it's not A-Rich.
No, but I know, but I'm saying like it's the same kind of like certain uncertainty where it's like you have these flashes in game, even if it's not the same traits, but like you see these flashes where they like the moment isn't too big for them. They just, you know.
But the difference is Cam Ward played 5 years.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I'm hoping.
Anthony Richardson played what, 12 games?
Right.
The thing that they're talking about with Cam Ward is the comparison that I'm not saying the comparison they make. The comparison they worry about is Jameis Winston.
Sure.
Jameis Winston killed it in college.
Sure.
But when you break it down, and that's why
40.
That's when you break it down. Here's what I heard is a great way to judge whether or not a quarterback in college will succeed in the NFL. Yeah. How often does he hit his third option on plays? Yep. Because most quarterbacks in the NFL, they can be coached to that's number one. If that's there, go to this guy.
Yep.
Not many of them can read a defense to the point where they know if that's it. I'll know, and this is all happens within a second.
Yeah.
If that happens, he's out. If that happens, he's out. So I have to go here.
Yeah.
Not many quarterbacks can do that. Thinking within a second.
And it's a lot of it because who is out of the Trey Lance, Justin Fields, Trevor Lawrence, Mac Jones? What did they hone in on about Mac Jones?
I don't know.
That exact thing.
Oh,
that he can read and process better than everyone. And we did a live twist draft special show.
Yeah.
And Trey Lance went where we all thought Mac Jones was going. And it blew my world. But that's what they talked about with him.
Yeah.
He processes
but it
faster
doesn't
than
matter
everybody.
if you don't have a team that you're going to that has the roots in the ground to develop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
What
a pod. What a pod, boys.
No breaths.
Wait. We got to talk about the one thing.
What?
What's his name from Tennessee, who's now at UCLA?
Yeah, Nico.
Oh, Amaliva.
So here's the thing on the
Nico Amaliva.
Everyone since NIL's come in.
So he had a $2 million NIL contract. He decided that he wanted $4 million based on what his agent representation said.
So he went to Tennessee. He went to Tennessee and said, "I want $4 million." Tennessee said
they originally agreed on the 2.
Yes.
Yep.
So he came back this year and said, "I need 4 to stay, or I'm hitting the portal."
Yep.
Because I can get 4.
And they said, "Go Paul and Sam."
Pete Brox, we're going on, and they didn't even say you can stay. They said we're moving in a different direction.
Yep.
Hit the portal.
Yep.
Hits the portal. They blackball him through most of the teams.
Yep.
And he ends up in UCLA for $1.5 million NIL deal in the worst state in the United States to have it, because he's going to end up only probably getting like $650K after taxes.
Yeah.
And see, here's the thing is
wild.
The whole NIL thing, everyone thought, oh, wild, wild west. It's kind of like, and I know this is a really, really stretched comparison.
Yeah.
I remember when everyone was up in arms back in the 80s, early 90s, when the idea of gay marriage came out. And I remember something, and I remember what my dad said to me.
Okay.
Because I was like having this goofy conversation with my dad. He goes, "Son, I'm not worried about if gay people want to get married. God bless them. Let them do what they want. I want to know what happens when there's the first gay divorce." And, that's what normalizes people. So here's my point. NIL is great. Yeah. This is what happens when you go into a situation with all this entitlement.
Yep.
Just like it's like, if you're gay and you want to get married, God bless you.
Yep.
But you still have to deal with marriage and marriage situations.
Yes.
And sometimes that ends in irreconcilable differences and you get a divorce.
Right.
It's the same thing. But now you can tell me all the stories you want about this guy got 5 million, this guy got 10, this guy. Tell me about the first time when someone says, "Go pound sand."
Yeah.
Go pitch rocks.
Well, homeboy thought he was Arch, and he's seeing all Arch, all these NIL with,
He was a big name prospect.
Huge.
Yeah, I mean, he was making all the talks.
Yeah. Well, guess what? And now he's saying that if UCLA doesn't satisfy his NIL deal, that he will sit out if it comes to college football playoff, and that more athletes should.
He might as well,
because that's an extra game, and that should be paid more because you made it to that game because it's outside of the NIL contract.
And
that's where you get muddied water.
And the first thing that the sports talk shows are going to say, and then it's going to filter down to the agents and all this other stuff that they're going to tell these guys, you will lose 3 rounds of draft stock if you do that.
Yeah.
Because the first thing an NFL team's going to say is the first time that this guy has a good game, he's going to want to renegotiate his contract.
100%.
It's a bad look.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Juicy.
All right, folks.
We'll be back with 100.
Don't get caught up in the Easter bunnies and the Easter eggs. This weekend and tomorrow is about Jesus Christ dying on the cross for our sins.
Heist rising.
God bless America. God bless you, Twist Nation.
Twist Nation. Twist Nation. We talking sports with a twist, no script. Legends coming through on the guest list. TC, Minnesota, land of the lakes. Boo, Green Bay. That's all I gotta say. Yelling skull with the woes, you know we don't play. We get wild every single day. We got our flaws, but we love our saints. Twist Nation, going like our page.